we're pretty knackered. We've had quite a full-on day of looking at studios, looking at spaces to hire, and spaces for ourselves.
Yeah.
And also meeting a couple of bid writers. So we're thinking of we are putting together some bids for some funding and everything. So we're pretty, zonked out.
Yeah, it's been
in a good way.
Information overload today, isn't it?
Yeah. So something that we've just been talking about now is kind of our next steps and what making those decisions as to what we do next. And we're just a bit unsure, aren't we? We've got like a very clear vision of where we want to be and what we're doing and what we want to do, but it's kind of getting there and making the next decision of taking that next step closer to where we want to be.
Yeah, and there's lots of different ways that we could do that, isn't there? And so it's trying to kind of decide which direction we want to take. And actually, we're just talking about the process of it. How do you decide? How do you make a big decision? I was trying to explain to Amy earlier that I was trying to think about things really logically, and then my brain just wouldn't let me even go there. It'd be like, no, but you just want to do that, don't you? So sometimes it just doesn't seem to be possible to sort of just make really logical decision on things, because you sometimes got to follow your heart a little bit, haven't you?
Yeah, and like you said, we looked at a couple of places where the energy didn't feel quite right, or just felt like quite depleting of my energy. Whereas then we looked at other places, we were like, oh, this is amazing, the energy completely changed within us. So I think it's as well like trusting our intuition, trusting that gut instinct, that intuitive inner voice that sometimes gets crowded out by the logical things, which are important, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're not, but it's like really, I think taking that, I don't know whether it's like a leap of faith or taking that jump and trusting yourself, trusting in the process of, I guess, life, and really putting those intentions out there for wanting to create something beautiful, empowering, and connective, and the universe is really on your side. I think that's how I like to see it anyway.
And I think that's the thing with us, we feel that way, don't we? We were sort of saying earlier that a lot of the time, sometimes you can feel like you're pushing really hard to get somewhere and that's not happening, so maybe that's not the way forward. But with our next steps, it has been very much like, we'd like to do this, and everything's fallen into place, and I feel that is very much about us being supported in what we're trying to do. But it was interesting today, wasn't it, to be like, because we saw lots of different places all in one day, like you said, you could feel like we could really pay attention to how we felt in certain places, because you could compare and contrast how each one made you feel. So it was really good in that way, and I think it was quite clear, wasn't it, as to where we felt at home and where we felt comfortable and where we could imagine ourselves doing what we do, and having other people there to share it with. So absolutely.
So very exciting this evening.
Yes.
We're now going to go and do a trial underwear shoot for I get a new kind of photo shoot where we do it inside a studio, hence why we're looking for a studio to do more things inside there. So again, like, just that energy and that inspiration that we feel in doing those kinds of things kind of indicates that it's the right thing for us to be doing. We will be going to Rachel's in a minute, so we'll maybe be in touch over there about it. Ultimately, in conclusion, we just really wanted to share that sometimes, it is uncertain as to what's going to happen. But ultimately, just feeling like having your support network, having the trust in yourself, in your intuition, listening to that voice, that inner voice that your heart kind of indicates, and I think just doing what you want to do,
and that's what's really sort of guided us, isn't it? It's like, it is change, and it's big change, and change is always difficult, but actually, where do we want to be in the future? And sometimes you've got to make those leaps of faith.
And we wouldn't be where we are today if we hadn't have taken the leap of let's do this because it sounds great, and it's just evolved naturally. So trust yourself. Definitely. Trust your intuition, yeah, all will be well.
All will be well. Totally.
Yeah, I need to. I would like to remember that. Like,
Yeah. I feel like we're talking to you and very much
to
to
ourselves. Yeah, absolutely.
So, oh, low battery.
So thanks for tuning in. We'll be in touch with another video soon.
Yeah.
Lots of love.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.